Right, welcome to this channel, Africa. Yes, Africa, Africa, yes, the African Cup of Nations 2023. To kickstart from January to February of 2024. Yes, fantastic tournament it will be. Yes, the teams that have qualified are very interesting teams, and I'm sure the whole world, especially Africa, are going to witness a very great tournament that will be staged in Ivory Coast, African Cup of Nations 2023 draw. So on the 12th of October 2023, the official group pins for the African Cup of Nations were made, and in fact we have about 6 groups of 4 teams. We are going to predict each group, which teams are capable of qualifying from the groups, which teams are capable of springing up an upset, and which teams will be the surprising team of the whole tournament. Don't forget that Senegal are the defending champions of this competition after they won their first ever trophy in Cameroon in 2021. They defend the trophy like Egypt has done over the years 2006, 2008, and 2010. Can Senegal repeat a certain feat like that? We are going to look at all of that in this video. What is the state of the Ghana Black Stars, or what's the fate of the Ghana Black Stars who find themselves in the same group with the team or the country with the most African Cup of Nations win, which is Egypt? What is the state of Nigerian Super Green Eagles, who will be competing with the Ivory Coast, the host nation, as well as some other teams in the group A? Yes, Nigeria will be boasting of very quality strikers. We are going to look at all of that. Morocco, the semi-final, is the first African country to qualify to the 2020 to qualify for the semi-finals of the of the World Cup. Sorry. Yes, so what will be the fate of Morocco? You know that they've only won the African trophy once in 1970. What will be the fate of them in this particular African Cup of Nations? We will talk about all of that. Do also subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the notification bell, Africa, and select all, because I'm going to give you a fantastic coverage of the African Cup of Nations 2023. In fact, we are going to start from December to February. 3 months of solid quality content on African football. When it comes to the Black Stars crowd, the Black Stars of Ghana, we will give you more and more. So let's just look at the groups, okay, and then we go straight to the point. Or what do you want us to talk about? Of course, there are very interesting teams, and we are going to enjoy it. 6 groups of 4. The first group, which is Group A, we have the host nation Ivory Coast. We have Nigeria in the same group, Equatorial Guinea, and then Guinea-Bissau. Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. Now, in this group, I'm sure that a lot of people will be thinking that, oh, Ivory Coast is going to be the group leaders of this group. I doubt it. Unless Nigeria disappoints me, I will go for Nigeria to be the group leaders of this group. Yes. And Nigeria can disappoint. Yes, they know themselves that they can disappoint. But if you look at this group, the quality of individual players in each teams, obviously Nigeria has so much quality, has so much game changers in their team to be the team that will top this particular group. Of course, Ivory Coast as the host nation will have the supporters behind them, will have everything there is to have behind them. They will have it as they are hosting the tournament in their country. Obviously, they will qualify from the group, and I tip them to be the second place team in this particular group. Yes, Ivory Coast will be bringing some very quality players also. But if you look at the striking force of Nigeria alone, Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Ademola Lookman, quality players. Victor Boniface is a fantastic striker of Bayer Leverkusen, who's scoring a lot of goals in the Bundesliga this season and is doing very well. Is that not it? Good. But one key position of Nigeria that may cost them is their goalkeeping department. But for their goalkeeping department, if you look at the likes of Trost Ekong in the defensive shape, Ndidi, Wilfred Ndidi and the likes, Iheanacho and the likes, all of them, quality players from the defense to the midfield to the attack. So Nigeria, obviously, for me, will be the league leaders in the Group A. Ivory Coast will follow. Now, don't forget that 2 teams will qualify from each group, but 4 best third place teams will also qualify. So as I'm going on, I will have to select the third best place teams from some certain groups if I deem fit that there will be that particular third place team in that group. But for Group A, I don't think there will be any third best place team. Equatorial Guinea, they will try, but they will lose to Ivory Coast. They will lose to Nigeria versus Guinea-Bissau. Maybe it will be a draw, 1-1. Both of them will be eliminated from the group. You get it? Both of them will get 1-1 point because Nigeria will beat Guinea-Bissau also, and then Ivory Coast will also beat Guinea-Bissau. So that's how things are for Group B. Let's go to Group A. Group B: Egypt, Ghana, Cape Verde, Mozambique. That's where we have Ghana Black Stars. Yes, Egypt, yes, the 7-time African Cup of Nations winners. Ghana 4-time African Cup of Nations winners. The rest 0-time African Cup of Nations winners. Even Cape Verde, they don't normally qualify. The last time they didn't qualify. Mozambique had this their 5th time of qualifying to the African Cup of Nations. This is a group that shouldn't be a difficult one for the Ghana Black Stars. That shouldn't be a difficult one for the Pharaohs of Egypt. Obviously not, because the quality of the 2 teams, even as at now, it tells you that indeed these 2 teams should qualify ahead of Cape Verde and Mozambique. But don't forget that Ghana Black Stars in their last African Cup of Nations failed to qualify from the group, and the last time Ivory Coast hosted an African Cup of Nations, Ghana in 1984, Ghana actually failed to qualify from the group also. So will history repeat itself, or Ghana Black Stars led by coach Chris Hughton will make amends this time? I think that the Black Stars of Ghana will make amends because they will beat Cape Verde. In fact, Ghana has beaten Cape Verde anytime they've met Cape Verde. In fact, Cape Verde hasn't scored a goal versus Ghana, not even 1 goal versus Ghana. They always concede to 0 versus Ghana. So in this Afcon, obviously, Ghana should beat Cape Verde, and that's the first game. Actually, Ghana will play Cape Verde in the first game, and then the second game will be versus Egypt. So if Ghana wins versus Cape Verde, Egypt wins versus Mozambique, Ghana versus Egypt for the second game. If the one who wins qualify, but if the game ends in a draw, it means the 2 teams are actually qualifying. And I also tipped Ghana and both Ghana and Egypt to beat Mozambique. That one will be to a lot of goals. So yes, Ghana and Egypt will qualify. I don't see any third place team in this particular group. Group C, that's where I see a third place team possibly qualifying from this group. There is a Senegal, there is Cameroon, and there is Guinea, as well as the Gambia. The Gambia is doing very well in terms of qualifying for the African Cup of Nations. Last time they were present, this time they are here again. Guinea is doing also very, very well. They have this quality striker in Europe playing for Stuttgart in the Bundesliga, scoring 13 goals in about 7 games. He's doing very well. The name has misplaced me, but then the facts are fact. They are also doing very well. Cameroon, also very exceptional, with the likes of Vincent Abubakar and the rest. I'm sure they are going to Anguissa of Napoli. A lot of quality with the Cameroonian side. Andre Onana of Manchester United, they also have some very, very sort of quality there. So obviously, I think that it will be the same how it is arranged now. That's the same way it's going to be. Senegal will be the group leaders. Cameroon will be the second place team, and then Guinea will be the third place team. But don't be surprised if the Gambia pulls a surprise. The Gambia, they can pull a surprise. They can shock one of these 3 teams, taking a win from them, or even a draw, or yes. So the Gambia can pull a surprise, but I don't expect them to qualify. Senegal will be the first team, Cameroon, and then Guinea will qualify as a third place team. Guinea will qualify as a third place team from Group C. Group D, we have Algeria, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and Angola. This group, 2 teams will qualify. Algeria is in top form, very top form. Ben Rama, West Ham, like Mahrez of now in Saudi Arabia, but still has quality. Now Algeria has some sort of quality. In fact, they beat Cape Verde 5-1 international friendly game later in this month of October. They've already beaten them 5-1 in an international friendly game. They are doing very well. They won the 2019 African Cup of Nations. Didn't do so well as a defending champion in the 2021, but they are looking to make amends in the 2023 in Ivory Coast. And with this group, yes, Burkina Faso will also qualify, because look, the last time when we went to Cameroon for 2021 African Cup of Nations, Burkina Faso were the 4th place team. In fact, they were 4th in the tournament. Yes, so they qualified to the semi-finals. With this group, obviously, Burkina Faso will qualify out of the group. So Algeria will top the group. Burkina Faso will be the 2nd place team. Do I see a 3rd place team from this group? Maybe Angola. Maybe Angola from this group. Mauritania, no. Mauritania will be the whipping boy in this group. Yes, I suspect so. Angola are doing very well. They've qualified to the African Cup of Nations in a very long while, and I think that they will be the 3rd place team, most likely from this group. Group E is where we have Tunisia, Mali, South Africa, and Namibia. This is my group of death. Yes. Tunisia, Mali, South Africa, and Namibia. All the 4 teams are very, very interesting teams with a lot of history, with a lot of good things happening to their football currently. When you go to the Tunisia, they have some fantastic foreign nationals. They qualify for the 2022 World Cup. Their league is top notch. They are doing very well over there, and they are a seeded team. They are part of the first 10 teams in Africa. So it tells you that indeed their football is doing very well in Tunisia. You have Mali, very enterprising team, very enterprising, play some very, very beautiful football. Are also doing very well, and I am certain this group is going to be a tough group. When you go to South Africa, they are also doing very, very well, qualifying for the African Cup of Nations after some time out of it, and their league is also doing well. The likes of Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, and the likes, they are doing very well, producing some very quality players. It's no surprise that they've qualified for this particular tournament. So to choose the 2 teams to qualify from this group is very, very difficult, I'm telling you. Namibia is also, yes, Namibia trying their best to develop their football to a certain extent. Qualifying for the African Cup of Nations obviously propels that particular development, and I'm sure they are going to be maybe the whipping boys in the group, but they can prove stubborn in this particular group. But who qualifies as the group leaders? Who qualifies? I'm tempted to believe that Tunisia will qualify, but I so much think that Mali can pull a big surprise in this group. Yes, I so much think Mali can pull a big surprise. But how can I stop talking about surprise without talking about South Africa? South Africa, I told you about their league. Their league is maybe the best league in Africa. But for the Egyptian league, if not for the Egyptian league, maybe South Africa is the best league in Africa. So it's going to be difficult. But I am certain that 3 teams will qualify from this group. 3 teams, and the first 3 teams will qualify. But how they will qualify, maybe South Africa being the first place team, or Mali being the first, or Tunisia being the first, that is where I cannot arrange. But I am so much sure that the 3 teams in this group will qualify. Tunisia, Mali, and then South Africa will qualify to the round of 16 of this particular competition. Group F is where we have the only African team that has qualified to the semi-finals of a FIFA World Cup. We have Morocco, we have DR Congo, and we have Kenya. Now, and we also have Tanzania. We have Zambia and Tanzania. Sorry, there's no Kenya. Morocco, DR Congo, Zambia, and then Tanzania. This is also a very difficult group, if you ask me. I'm telling you, a very, very difficult group. Zambia, one-time winners in 2012. Tanzania also building their league. Simba, and then the other one, Young Africans, very, very, very good. In fact, Young Africans went to the semi-finals of the Confederations Cup last season, and then this season they are in the CAF Champions League group stages. It tells you that indeed they are doing very, very well in terms of Tanzania football. It is no surprise for me that even though Tanzania is not a household name in African football when it comes to qualifying to the African Cup of Nations, it's no surprise to me that this time they qualified because they are doing very well in their league. They are building their football, and it is very, very nice to watch them from afar in Tanzania when they are playing. Zambia also coming back from after a long stay out. After 2012, they've not been doing so well in the African Cup of Nations. DR Congo, very, very enterprising football team, and they will always be a strong team. DR Congo, and then Morocco. Obviously, this group, I suspect Morocco will be the first place team in this group. But don't forget that playing World Cup is different from playing African Cup of Nations. At the World Cup, Morocco will feel free to defend versus Portugal and catch them on the counter. I'm sorry, and catch them on the counter. But if Morocco is playing versus Zambia, he's supposed to attack Zambia for Zambia to sit back and rather Zambia catch you on a counter. So if you are playing versus Zambia, how do you make sure that you score more goals and win the game versus Zambia? That is the difficulty Morocco will be facing in the African continent. So the fact that they are the first team to go to the semi-finals of the World Cup in the 2022 FIFA World Cup doesn't mean that Morocco is going to take the African Cup of Nations by storm. Obviously not, but then it will be a difficult one, but I'm still trusting them. They are going to top this group, and then maybe DR Congo will be the second team. DR Congo, but between Namibia and Zambia and then Tanzania, one of them has to qualify as a third place team. I am also certain that there will be a third place team in this particular group. Tanzania and Zambia, one of them will qualify. But if you ask me, I'll give it to Tanzania. Yes, I'll give it to Tanzania to qualify as a third place team because of how they are developing their league, the quality of players in their league, and how they fought their way back into the African Cup of Nations. So these are my predictions for the African Cup of Nations final draw. And the tournament will be coming on from the 14th of January 2023 to I think 17th of February 2024 rather. So let me know your thoughts, comments, views, opinions in the comment section of this video. What are your thoughts? And let me know all of that in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your thoughts and comments below, hit the notification bell and select all. Definitely I'll see you in the next update. Bye bye.